Betty Whittaker is the 10th child of John and Gracie Whitaker, and today she stands as the family matriarch. Now the second oldest after her sister Lorene, Betty is the one who holds the household together. She's the caretaker, the protector, and the heart of the Whitaker family. Her niece BJ, Larry's daughter, even once said, if anything were to happen to Betty, Lorene especially would go crazy, because right now it's everything Betty this and Betty that. If you're new to my channel, welcome! Here in this video, we take a deeper and closer, more compassionate look at Betty Whittaker, the woman who has sacrificed everything for her family. I have lots more on my channel, including the entire Whittaker family tree, so thank you for watching, subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments who you want to see next. Betty grew up right here, on the same property. Though the original house she was raised in no longer stands, it was destroyed years ago. Even as a child, Betty carried a weight far beyond her years. At just 12 years old, when her mother became gravely ill at 44, Betty stepped in. She was the one her mother leaned on day in and day out. And before her mother passed, Betty made a solemn promise. She would never marry, and she would always look after the family. And that's exactly what she did. Betty never married, she never had children of her own. Instead, she became a mother to everyone else. Today, she is the voice and the guardian for her mentally challenged siblings, Lorene, Ray, and Timmy. She understands them in a way no one else can. Where others hear only sounds, Betty hears meaning. She knows what every gesture, every expression, and every sound truly means. Her presence gives them something irreplaceable: communication, dignity, and love. She's not just feeding them and caring for them, but she's giving them a voice, and that is something most of us take for granted, but Betty has turned it into a bridge between her siblings and the world. Meanwhile, her other brothers, Kenneth and Larry, still do live on the property, but they have families and households of their own. They had the chance to build independent lives. Betty never had that. Her entire family life has been lived in service to others. And it hasn't been easy. The Whittakers come from coal country, and when that industry collapsed in West Virginia, the company scripts that they were paid and became worthless. The family was plunged deeper into poverty. With the added challenges of disability and a way of speaking and looking that set them apart, they became targets for cruelty. Betty endured harassment, people driving by, honking, egging the house, terrifying her and her family night after night. Imagine the fear she lived with. Would they torch the place, break in, hurt somebody? She had to develop an unshakable instinct for survival, right there in her own hometown. So Betty developed a kind of quiet strength. With Kenneth and Larry, she helped form a small but powerful unit, a circle of protection around Ray, Lorene, and Timmy. Even when the younger family members came to visit and play, like her nieces and nephews, Betty would sit out on the porch with her coffee, watching over them. Always watching, always protecting. There was a controversy at one point when Betty gave money, which was donated by Mark, to her niece BJ, who struggles with addiction. It shocked some people, but when you understand Betty, you can see that the action came not from carelessness, but from loyalty. It was about preserving family ties, keeping peace, maintaining that fragile web of connection, because for Betty, family comes first, and always has. She, Kenneth, and Larry formed a protective shield around the vulnerable members of their family. That unit may not always look perfect from the outside, but to them, it's everything that they have. Today, Betty is nearing 80. She has heart problems. Like many of her family, she is at risk of heart failure, and she knows she won't be around forever. But for now, she is still here, still holding it all together. Still keeping the promise she made as a little girl at her mother's bedside. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new about the woman behind the Whittaker family. If you want to see more, I do have the entire Whittaker family tree on my channel, as well as a detailed profile of Ray Whittaker. The links are in the description. And thank you for watching. Subscribe for more. Each of your subscriptions has helped the channel grow. It allows me to continue making content for you. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. You make a list of our suggestions, and I will see you in the next one.